Alright, trying to film these rapid fire for you guys. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me once again. Welcome back. All that good stuff. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, alert bell, all that stuff. If you're already subscribed, you are awesome. Where we left off last video, I decided to give the differential another once over. If you didn't see that video, go check that out. I actually wound up swapping the ring gear because this was something I never did. I swapped the ring gear off the old diff, the LSD, and put it on the new one, and it seemed to have fixed some of my issues that I was having. It's a big plus for that one. A little more confident with that. I'm outside painting it right now. Let me show you paint quick. That's the old cover, giving it another coat. Well, new cover, there's the old covers on there. Give it some black paint and that's it. So this is my ridiculously colored subframe. Gonna start putting the arms back on it. Gonna bang in the solid bushings. Gonna start putting these arms back in. One issue I'm gonna run into, the toe arm, which is down here, and then the upper control arm. Those are eccentric bolts, I think they're called. Those are adjusting bolts. So I'm gonna go back to my old footage, get it as close to where it was as possible, and then once everything's in the car and everything opens back up, we're gonna go for an alignment, because I did also do my front tie rods at one point, and I never went for an alignment after that. I've just been kind of winging it. Did a tape measure alignment and it's pretty good, pretty close, I guess. But let me start putting this back together, and eventually we'll be able to flip the diff over, spray the other side. I'm not really giving it that many coats of paint because it's a differential. It's going to be underneath the car and get messed up anyway. And then I don't know if we're going to get it back in the car. We're going to attempt it. I closed the garage door because it is destroying the light. Let me get some of the stuff out of the way, and then we're going to start smacking some of these bushings. Might have to finesse them in. We might have to just smack the shit out of them with a hammer and a piece of wood or something. But either way, bushings and all this other stuff is going to go back in. I don't even know where you're looking right now. Gonna clean up these things a little bit. Those arms are gonna have to go back in. I'm not even gonna do this right now. Let's see if these things go in. All right. Okay. That's up the paint already. So two different kinds. One with the divot or whatever, flat one. Flat one goes on top. Oh, not too bad. Let me get a piece of wood and a hammer. Hit this in. And do all four of those. Alright, well that was a complete pain in the ass, but I got them in. I started using the vise because I was struggling, and I bent the little handle on it, but not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the diff bushings are in also. I have them flush. I don't know if, they're probably supposed to be all the way flush on this end, but I'm going to leave them like that because I could always press them in more. That will probably be easier than trying to pull them back out a little bit. It's time to start doing these arms. That end isn't the issue. It's the end that bolts onto the subframe that is the alignment adjustments. Arms are in. Got to look back at my footage to see where those bolts were. I got to ballpark it, like I said, and then we're definitely going to go for alignment when shops start opening. But I think, well, let me look at the footage and try to set that. I also didn't tighten the lower control arms on. After it's on the car, I'm probably going to clean them up a little bit because those are dirty compared to the rest of the stuff, but yeah, I might wind up throwing in the diff in a couple minutes. Alright. It's now time to struggle putting the diff in. right, while we're rocking and rolling over here, I might see about bolting this into the car. If I could slide it under, line it up good enough, jack it up, it's really the 4 bolts, and then there was like 2 brackets. I guess it's like 6 bolts technically, but it's like 4 bolts that hold it into the frame, and then there's an extra bracket on top of it. So it's 6 bolts altogether, and then we'll probably just leave it like that if I'm able to get this in there. And everyone cross your fingers for me that the diff is correct. Well, my garage is a complete mess. I have a ton of tools out. Let me get a flashlight and we'll show you what we did here. It's a little bit of a struggle getting it up and bolted into the subframe, into the car, because I guess the solid bushings don't have any play in them, obviously. But this is what we're looking like. Not being blinded. Oh, yep, being blinded. That's what we're looking like. So it's bolted up into the car, differentials in. I have to just reassemble everything, which I will wind up doing off camera at some point. But arms, subframe bushings, differential, and yeah, looking good. Ow, what was in my hand there? Alright, so let's end it here, I guess. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. I got to put a few more things back together eventually, but first I need to find another drive shaft bolt. Maybe I'll just buy 4 new ones, because I'm missing one. We'll get brand new guys in there, bolted up nice and tight, with some Loctite this time, because I guess last time I may or may not have forgotten to put some Loctite on those bolts, so I lost one, but luckily we only lost 1 out of 4. So basically just the reverse of everything we did in the other video. Just gotta remember to tighten the bolts at the bottom of that, bolt back up the coilover, brake caliper, hook back up the e-brakes, and do the drive shaft and put the exhaust back on, and then it's really done. Then we're done with this project. The last thing that I'm gonna have to do after everything's reassembled and I get the car working up to tip-top shape again is break in the differential. It's gonna be annoying. You gotta drive in a figure 8 for like a half hour. I'm dizzy already just thinking about it, but I don't even know what the hell I'm gonna do it, but also this time is probably the best time to do it because there's not that many people out with this pandemic going on. But I wanna thank you guys for joining me. Hope you learned something today. I don't even know if I did anything informational here, but thanks for joining me. Watching me struggle a little bit getting this back in, but it's in, painted, and looking pretty damn good. So thanks for joining me. I will see you guys in the next one. Subscribe and all that good stuff. Hit the bell, and yeah, see you next time.